So I'm going to try and be a little bit more up and down on this one, although the nature of the subject is a little bit tricky to do so.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at this as our world, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give that a big E, okay?
Yeah.
For Earth. And we've got Ukraine,
Yeah.
Russia,
Uh-huh.
America,
Mm-hmm.
China, and no, it's not that one, EU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, all of these nations
Mm-hmm.
here have something in common with each other. Do you know what it is?
No. Don't know what you mean. Space program. Mm-hmm.
So each one of these have a space program, yes?
Uh-huh.
The UK
Yeah.
does not.
Uh-huh.
And I think that for politics it would be very important, not for politics, it's bollocks. For every person in the United Kingdom
Yeah.
and beyond, it would be very good if Britain actually started formulating their own
Yeah.
space program.
Uh-huh.
But again, where is the money spent?
Mm. Yeah. And
On
war.
war.
Yeah.
And what does this do? It damages, I don't even know, but whatever, economy, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So this one here would be Ukraine, yes?
Yeah.
Now, if this is over resources,
Uh-huh.
okay, and I was to look at Ukraine and I think that this is over resources and different things like that, and that everyone wants to make a deal with Ukraine, it seems.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
There's a lot of deals that would be very beneficial for all nations included, it would seem, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You see, here's the thing about deals. It's a very interesting thing. Although this seems to be about resources,
Yeah.
minerals, rich lands and everything else, that yes, there could be a deal done, but
Yeah.
we don't want to be too optimistic. It would be great for Ukraine to sit down and think, right, okay, Zelensky being the leader, thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right, okay, strategy.
Yeah.
How long are these resources going to last in this nation? If I was able to do this, this, and this, and if I was able to make a deal with all people, all places, and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good thing. However, there is the prospect of Russia reigniting their space program, China igniting their space program. I'm not sure what America plans to do, whether a different party would boost their space program.
Yeah.
And then you've got the EU that would hit with their space program.
Yeah.
And what do we mean when we say space program? What was it really about? So in the beginning, it was about a race, okay?
Yeah.
Who could get to space first?
Mm-hmm.
Yuri Gagarin and different things like that. By then, I think it was the USSR, which was former, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That they were looking at quite some good achievements was to go to Venus.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
America was to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And China is, at the moment, I believe, they're focusing on the moon.
Yes, they are.
And you have Venus and the EU. What is the EU focusing on at the moment? Well, anyway, we got to understand that when we say space program, we're not thinking, oh, go to the moon, put a flag on it and then come back again, or go to Europa,
Mm-hmm.
stick a flag on it and then come back, do a couple of trips, grab some sand and come back with it. That's not what we're saying when we say a space program.
Yeah.
When we say space program, we say we should call it a resource program.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Space being the abundance of all resources,
Yeah.
have the power, potential
Mhm.
to bring back resources.
Yeah.
Now, Ukraine could share their resources under a term and condition that if you make a space program,
Mm-hmm.
we want some of those resources too.
Yeah.
it would be a good deal for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because resources is a two-way street, and resources are not guaranteed for one nation forever. We know this. Look over history. How many places have been rich in abundant materials, let's say? When we look at coal, that was quite a resource.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at how many coal mines have been depleted, or we've created carbon, or oil, or whatever it may be, we would look at those things as resources. In the beginning, I think it was more about gold, silver, precious metals, and then we've come to the place where we're at. Certain different things sit on the resource scale now.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at that and we think, one, you can go to battle, but you're going to damage this thing here.
Economy.
Your economy. You're also going to lose life.
Mm.
And then somewhere along the line, I got to figure it out of where that is actually worth it.
Yeah.
In my understanding, to help you understand, where does that become worth it in today's age?
Mm.
Self-defense and different things like that. Yes. I understand. But where is there a deal? Because there could be an opportunity that Russia, whether it's Putin or anyone else after Putin, okay? It depends on Russia as a nation, could kickstart their space program and go off and find some resources that are unique to what America finds, are unique to what China finds, and are unique to what the EU finds. What are we going to do in that situation? We're going to stockpile all one particular resource. And then what one particular resource starts to build up. So then that means that Russia would then have to go to the place that America's going to, which seems counterintuitive. The EU are going to have to go to the same place that Russia goes to. China are going to have to go to the same place as what everyone else is going to. And then America has to go to the same place as what everyone else is going to in order to then start leveling up the playing field of resources, right? Which is really expensive and again will damage your economy and risk of life. If America perfect their art at going and getting these resources, and we're not greedy, because again, if you were greedy with the resources, it could really damage you later on, because these resources might start to make this object, these resources might start to make that object, and then you'll go to one particular planet, and then there will be this whole war thing, and it will become the war of the worlds. That's what will happen, because this seems to be the pattern. If you can't even look after your nations, then why do you have nations? If this is the way that you go forward, is just battle. Then you'll own a part of the moon, and then you'll own a part of Mars, and then someone else owns a part of this, and someone else owns a bit of Europa. And then if there is abundance of one particular mineral, well, it's never one. It's like a traffic light system. Bar chart, actually. So one mineral is going to be abundant, next one slightly less, next one slightly less, next one slightly less, yes? But then on somewhere else, it could be in retro to that. That one's more abundant, this one's slightly less, this one's slightly less, this one's slightly less, yes? And then you have another issue. Well, then you have to go to war with each other if you can't strike a deal. If you can't strike a deal on what we're going to trade, or you're going to share it all equally, if you think about it. And then I wonder where the UK is going to sit in this. You know, you hear people saying, oh, I don't want to be a bitch to this person, or I don't want to be a bitch to that person. Well, face facts. The UK is going to be a bitch to a lot of people if they don't pull their finger out of their asses and build a space program. You are going to become a bitch to everybody. That's how it is. It's just fact. You're going to be relying on it, and then you've got nothing to trade, so therefore you're going to have to put in X amount of money to even buy this stuff. You're going to have to buy it. And we're seeing it so far that the economy can't handle that. And any other economy can't handle that. But yet there's more than enough nations on this planet to all scout about. Each and every single nation. And it cherishes life. It cherishes the economy. And it drops this fucking thing out. This must be a pain in the ass to every single fucking nation across the planet. It must be a real big arseache to go to war with everyone. The families that get damaged, this gets damaged, that gets damaged, the environment is taking a battering from it, your troops take a battering from it. Everyone is just in such a depressed state afterwards. You have depressions, economies crashed, and there's a reorder. It's a nightmare. This is a nightmare fuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
To keep going like this and to keep this up, I think you start to, I don't know, you just take a look around. Look at the people. Look at the people that've had enough.
Yeah.
They've had enough of this.
Yeah.
We're all taught in a playground in our schools that are public that you are to share everything. If there isn't enough to go around, you will take 10 minutes on the same thing, right? We're all taught to share, but it seems like everyone that runs these nations are all taught to stockpile and be greedy.
Yeah, be greedy. Just take it all and be greedy. Yeah.
But apparently we're taught the same stuff in all these schools, but I don't think we are. Don't insult my intelligence. If we were all taught the same thing, there was no way this would be happening. You know what? If we had a planet full of twins, I think that we would, one, we'd be really good at arguing, and two, we would be really good at sharing. I think that we could get on the same page and sort of appeal to each other's better nature on that. Oh, you'd think anyone would be able to learn this, actually. It's not just designated with twins. So there is a fine art that my grandfather taught me and my sister, right?
Yeah.
That if he gave us some money,
Yeah.
he'd say to us, look, I give you, £100 and I give you £100.
Yeah.
That's £100.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend that on whatever you want to.
Yeah.
However, if you were to put that money together, you could buy a games console, but you'd have to share it. And then, if I gave you again on your following birthday or whatever it may be, Christmas, or it wasn't guaranteed all the time. It was just him helping us to understand this. Because whereas my sister was more in favor of this type of games console, I was more in favor of this games console.
Yeah.
All you would have to do is share for half the year or a year, back and forth. And then if we were to do the same thing again the following year, we could then have one each.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't need to share. Bit like resources, right? Mining resources is the same thing. And then the whole monetary system is failing the world.
Yeah.
I've got these resources. How much do you want to buy these off me for? Then this lowers money out of one.
Yeah.
And then you have resources. Then you can build this. Then you got to wait a few years before your money picks back up again. Oh, and then you probably got some product to sell to somebody else from those resources you've just brought in. It's quite an arse-ache, really, isn't it? Isn't that such an arse-ache?
Yeah.
It's like the biggest world con is money. Literally.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It isn't distributed evenly. It causes some economies to become weak. It causes others to become really strong. And that's not guaranteed because these strong economies can also become very depleted themselves.
Yeah.
So you've got this system in progress that is so indiscriminative. It just discriminates everybody. That you only get a few. Do you not see how that is very... It's such a bullshit system. As far as I'm concerned, it's just very... I don't, it doesn't appeal to, it does appeal to me in a way that yes, you need some cash before you start a business. Think about it. So you may have the know-how, you may have the idea and the blueprint, but you are then in control by other people or in control of you. Because if they don't give you a lifeline, and then that means you have to go and lick someone's ass somewhere.
Then you don't start.
You gotta kiss
if
my
they
shoes.
Don't help you.
You gotta do this for me. And it's like, right, okie dokie. Me building the thing for you, is that not good enough? Because, I don't get to take this with me when I'm gone. And if this was shared out amongst everybody, this would generate X amount of stuff for you. This then starts bulking you up with an awful lot of stuff. All the way around the world. That's third world countries and countries that are doing really well and thriving, and the ones that aren't thriving. Equally. everyone starts to level up. I don't know if anyone really wants that, to be honest. I think that there's an awful lot of power in everybody. You know, it's like this, right? If everyone was given the same war equipment, would there ever be a war? If everyone was given the
Mm,
same strategy, the same equipment,
no,
would you ever have a battle? Well, there'd be no point, would there?
no,
Because you would be equal, just like one human to another human to
yeah,
another human to another
yeah,
human.
yeah.
But then, is one human the same to another human? Well,
Mm,
biologically, yes, but monetarily,
no,
well, you have more money. I never remember the person that's
mm,
got the money.
yeah,
I always remember the things they've got.
yeah,
So if you see five people stand out
mm.
and they've got a massive wads of money and they bring all the money, what are you more remembering? The individuals holding the money or the big stacks of cash?
Probably the biggest stack of cash because it's so big.
Right, someone
Yeah.
turns up in a massive sports car
Mm.
then. They get out the car and walk across the car park and everything. You look, but you're not looking. What are you looking at? Do you remember the car or do you remember the person?
The car, because I've never seen it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah,
And hence why I think they print heads on money.
yeah.
So you don't forget. Because they know that the money is more
Mm,
valuable than the memory of the person
yeah,
that has the wealth,
mm,
right? Do you see,
yeah, yeah.
do you see how this
Mm,
works? That's why you put faces on money,
mm,
just so it tried to enhance that at the time. Because if not, you tend to forget.
mm,
Well, who are you?
mm,
Well, that was my past family member. Well, I don't care. I don't know who it was.
mm.
It sort of falls out of favor, right? Do you ever really remember what Henry VIII looks like, or do you remember his funny hat? I just remember his hat with these strange things on it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
perhaps his bigness. But other than that, what I
Yeah,
really remember is all of the weird things he did
mm,
and the palace or this or the church
yeah,
destruction.
yeah,
I can see that. But
yeah,
him, I
yeah.
can't really see it all that well.
No, just round, really round man with beard.
Yeah, so
But yeah.
so when an elitist walks in the
Mm,
room, I don't really notice
mm,
him. But I tell you what I do notice. Wow, that's a nice aeroplane, I guess.
mm,
That's a nice boat.
mm,
That's a nice yacht. I don't remember you when I
mm.
leave. If I've never met you before, and you're a multi-millionaire person, and I come and see you, and
Yeah,
I would be too busy
yeah.
looking at
I'll
this
never
lavish
recognize
stuff,
you later.
but I won't remember you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
remember all the things, but I
mm,
won't remember you.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Mm,
It's kind of weird, really, isn't it?
mm-hmm.
It's when you think about it. If you've seen someone with you look at this, vroom, and you sort of see that, and it's like, yeah,
Mm,
sort of thing.
yeah,
I'm not looking at you, the person who gets the
mm,
big ego from
yeah,
this.
yeah,
I'm looking at the thing that just made the sound.
yeah. And I'm like, oh my God,
When you
it's
get
so
out the car
loud.
and I see you sort of thing walk over to a cash machine and then
Yeah,
get back in the car and go
mm,
whoom and you drive away.
mm,
A few days later, I remember the car, but I don't remember you.
mm, mm, yeah.
So, so is it really wealth is power or is it the decor?
No, they just show off, don't they?
Do you remember a plain house or do you remember a house that's got all of the stuff in it? It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Do you remember a fun house or do you remember a house that was bland?
Yeah, I recall one house where my parents live because it's so over decorated that it looks like a cake.
Lots going on, yeah.
Yeah, lots going on, yeah. And it's like, oh, that's a little bit too much, maybe.
It's like a ready meal
Hmm?
put in the middle of a nice buffet food or a nice,
Hmm?
a Gordon Ramsay style plate versus a ready meal in the middle
Hmm?
of it. Which one are you really going to remember?
Hmm?
All that jizz and glingle around the outside or the ready meal in the middle?
Yeah.
You're not really registering what you're eating, really. You just
Hmm?
yak it down,
Hmm?
right? So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the glitz and glam.
Hmm?
Yeah, kind of fucking strange that is. I don't know. There's something weird. I don't know. Maybe you can remember someone that got out of a sporty car somewhere.
No.
No, I just remember the car though,
No.
right?
Yeah,
Do you remember the car?
when there's car passing by somewhere or something like that, I look because it's noisy, because I notice the noise and I'm like, what is it? Is it motorbike or is it car? And then you see it and then it's gone and that's it.
Yeah, you might remember the nice looking bike, but the person riding it,
No,
fucking hell.
no,
Attention to detail was lost. I
no,
was too busy looking at the.
no.
So I don't get how money is power. I think the power is in the objects, not you.
Yeah, they just show off each other. I got this car, I got that car.
You know, that sort of magpie of you starts coming
Mm.
out. Well, it's very shiny, isn't it?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I just,
yeah, yeah.
unless I see you continuously every day, you gotta really drum me into your
Mm.
head.
Mm.
But then when you're gone and someone else is starting to be drummed in my head, I forget about you.
Mm. Yeah.
But I don't remember all of the nice stuff around you, though.
Mm.
My attention to detail is outside, not you. Because at the end of the day, why do I want to look at you for? Well, because look at all of my stuff. Well, you're no different to that person over there.
Yeah.
What about a homeless person? You're no different to someone who's homeless. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, you are a human, no different. You're not exactly levitating in front of me. You're showing me no supernatural human abilities. You breathe like I breathe. Yep, yep, that's good.
Mm.
Blood still flowing around your body. Get a little cut. Does that
Mm.
hurt?
Mm.
Yeah, it does.
Mm.
All right, so, you know,
Yeah.
you are still...
Mm.
Nah. You're just like anybody else.
Mm.
And as much as you try to say that you are a... Nope.
Mm.
So I can't register with that. So then when I look at all of this sort of stuff here, and I think space program, what are we actually saying? Resource program.
Yeah.
Resources.
Yeah.
And then if each of these nations had all the resources, and the UK being an old empire,
Mm.
you might as well be third world.
Yeah.
But that was a choice. Where are you choosing to spend the money?
Yeah.
What are you choosing to spend it on? Barons, this, that, and the other?
Barons, war, someone's pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making millionaires or
Yeah. Millionaires then move away anyway.
making the Houses of Parliament look all beautiful. I mean, yes, it's a nice building, but at the end of the day, it's kind of shinny in the grand scheme of things.
Mm.
Because, you know,
Mm.
you're not rising to the next level.
Mm.
And that's why I think that it would be very important if I was in it, this is where we'd be going.
Mm.
We'd be starting this. But there'd be a bit more of a difference. It would be sort of like go to the moon, but we wouldn't own it.
Mm.
You know, if you could own it,
Mm.
I think for the goodness of the whole of the earth and everything else is just to divide that bad boy up. Under the agreement.
Mm.
What's the agreement then? Everyone gets an equal piece. What the fucking hell do I want that? There could just be sand there. Yes, but that's still important.
Mm.
Then there might not be any resources. Well, it's better than us fighting over them, but if we learn to share it...
Yeah. Dig, you might find something.
Yes.
You
I
never
found
know.
some of this. That's wonderful. Not sure what we're going to do with that just yet, but let's stow it away for later. Oh, I
Yeah.
found some of this.
Mm.
Okay? Let's give a piece to everybody in every nation. Third world, rich, and all the rest. We require more of this stuff because we're going to start making these things over here. Well, we're making these over here, but if you're not using that bit over there, you could give it to us and we'll trade you with this, but we'll make you some, but we'll give it to everybody.
Mm.
And each nation has this equal wealth, this equal accessibility, which then means that we can go farther, and we can scatter around and collect even more resources this way.
Mm.
Rather than happening to stop now and then and go, well, we're going to have to pay for that, or we're going to enslave you and every other nation for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very complicated, and then this starts causing war.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds then begins.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. Since I can't do shit all with this stuff that you give me, I'm going to slingshot it at you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this into a weapon. If I can't have it and you won't let anyone else have it, well, then we'll bring you down.
Yeah.
Right? And then it becomes problematic again because it damages the economy, breaks the back of people, ruins life, all because of this stuff. God, look at this. Is there a way forward where there can be a deal, but the deal is under the understanding that we're all going to be collecting resources soon?
Mm.
Well, we're not going to be. Okie dokie, well, that's your choice then.
Mm.
But don't worry, we'll always keep you some stuff there if you need it. Why is that? Because we care about all people everywhere, not just one nation. And then, can you bankrupt your country trying to build everything, trying to be the one? If you had one nation that was trying to do absolutely everything like a fucking star, even though you're just really not. I mean, how dangerous for your economy is that? I mean, in a monetary situation.
Yeah.
And then you're going to burn everybody out in your nation, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just going to be like, whoa, how the hell are we going to keep up with all of this stuff? That's why we made robots. Right.
Hmm?
Robots only get you part of the way there.
Hmm?
I mean, yeah, sure, this might be great for you, but everywhere else might turn against you on that one.
Yeah,
They might stop you before you even get off the ground.
yeah.
It doesn't matter how powerful you are.
And then it might be too late.
Only takes a small spanner
Hmm?
in an engine.
No one will take you on board because they invested and you might get just some breadcrumbs.
And it would be really great to start leveling up all nations with this capability.
Hmm?
No payloads on it of weaponry, which I suppose runs an
Hmm?
equal risk. That's potentially what you could do.
Yeah.
But then under the just in case, you start making counteractions to that. And if everybody had their own counteractions, well, then that becomes a bit of a pointless thing to do. Then it would mean each of these nations would then all, and anyone that joins it, would all have to look out for each other.
Hmm?
In the same way that you're sharing resources, and one that's here that's just not ready yet. And in this deal, they can get some sort of revenue coming in. And if they can, they could then build their own space program. Get future ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
What do I want a HD TV for? Well, it's HD ready. I want to be space ready. I want to be resources ready. Why is that? Well, because that guarantees that we live on.
Yeah.
And then we can start to build things that are more adapted for space.
Yeah.
You know, the very word space. We're running out of land. We don't know whether to build on it or grow food on it. Space.
Yeah.
How much more space do you want? Up there, you can make land for growing, and you can also
habitat.
have habitat.
Yeah.
You can have both.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to fill that up. It's very unlikely that you're going to fill up the whole cosmos with all of this, isn't it?
There's a lot of space even just in solar system.
Yeah.
Space tells it all, the word. Space.
Yeah. See, that's why I find it very pointless to
Mm.
go and redo what we've done here on Earth on another planet.
Yeah.
It seems very pointless.
Yeah.
What fucking hell do I want to do that for?
Mm.
Well, you know, because we want our life to go on, but I can do this in space.
Yeah.
Why do I want to get land ready when
Mm.
the next frontier is space?
Yeah, because I can hop there, and then I can hop there. From there, I can hop there, and I can see much more and get more resources. Maybe something unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
just want to go to another planet and build it all on there again. And then people are like, yes, yes, yes. And then we'll go to another planet and then we'll
Yeah.
build it all on there as well.
Let's have more tyrants and more.
And then that's counterproductive.
Yeah. You can
You
stay.
might as well start building it up there.
Yeah. Mm.
And sort of treat it like a fine art museum. It's a very nice planet, but I prefer my ship.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go and see, but don't stay.
That's like a captain building a ship on land.
Mm.
What are you going to do? Can I have some money bank? What's that for? Well, I want to build a ship. Where are you going to put the ship? In the middle of the desert? Why do you want to do that? I don't know. The same way I might want to recolonize another planet rather than space.
Mm.
I mean, it's strange to me. That's like so you go from one planet, gotcha, and we're going to go to another planet and we're going to colonize the other planet.
Mm.
What for? Meh.
To own it, because they need to own everything. How do you own it?
Which one's more successful? Which one gives you more freedom? Think about it.
Mm.
Which one puts you in a capability to do more about your fate? Going anchored, you know, this is how it is, right? So you've got one ship that has got an anchor and that's it, it's fixed into one place.
Yeah.
But you got another one. Hey, I can move.
Yeah. Go somewhere. See something.
Apparently the star's not looking too well. Stuck a big thermometer in it. It's got a bit of a temperature. You king? Yeah, they really think so? This one's a reverse thermometer. It actually tells you when it's you know, when the sun gets ill, it will get colder, cooler. Whereas humans get hotter. But you know, the star, it's got a bit of a temperature in the reverse.
Low temperature.
Yeah, it's got very low temperature. It's almost hypothermic. Well, what are we going to do about it? We already built our settlement on Mars. We can't leave. Ah, if only we'd have listened. I know. But yet, the ones that build something in space would be like, see you later. Come back, Noah. No, that's my craft. Right? Not Ark. No, Noah's Ark, but Noah's craft.
Yeah.
So, I often look at that, and then it's going to take more than just these to build that. Sure, one nation can do it, but happy bankrupting. Happy over budgeting. I just think it's not realistic, and there's that greed side of everything, and the big ego-ness that gets you into trouble. Ego is going to be the death of all people on the planet, and I can assure you. And second to that is greed. I want to own everything that doesn't belong to me, because the type of people who have got really high egos think that when they were born, the planet was made
for them.
Yeah, it was made for them.
Yeah.
This planet was made for you. Why is that? Because you're chosen. Oh, guess what? When you're gone, it's going to go too. Oh, so it is mine. It is. Even the stars for you. Well, what about those other people over there? It's not for them. It's just for you. They were put here just for you.
Yeah, they are just decorations for you.
Yeah.
To do what you tell them.
Oh, really? Well, in that case. Right, I just find this very, this type of ego and mindness and this type of greed and desperation as well, because it's all from a very low vibration. That's a very low vibrational field to be in. Greed, ego, and this sort of that is mine. It reminds me of those crabs. I can't remember what they're called now. The decorative crabs.
Yeah.
This is mine. This is also mine. This is also mine. Oh, I got to change my shell. Hang on a second. Just let me take these little treasures off.
Yeah.
So I find that was going to be it's going to be a. Oh yeah, and that singularity thing, where it's just you, but there's no room for any other nation. There's no room for any other people because they're insignificant. You see, they were not born over here, so that means that they're shit.
Yeah.
They're not worthy enough.
Yeah.
Why not? Because I said so. Oh, why is that? Because I put them here for you. When you go, they go too. It's your playground, guys. Come on.
Come on and play. Yeah.
Whoops, your halo just slipped. There you go. That's better. Right. So it's kind of funny, and it is and it isn't, but. So where is the UK want to go? Because at the moment, to say that it's Great Britain, that's kind of slipping great.
Yeah. Greatly slipped
United
Britain.
Kingdom. We're going to have to change that for a D soon. If we don't sort it out, we don't want to be anyone's bitch. I think that's pretty common for every other nation. Is probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So, let's get together then. Let's get around the table. Let's see where we're going. Where are we heading?
Yeah.
Because, let me give you a little example, right? This is how it is. If every nation began to start to work together, and the ones that don't want to work with you, what was the chances of them actually pulling it off? The more of you coming together and making this feat manageable and possible, with you all paying your taxes, with all of your man and human power, and woman power, all coming together to build that, because you all got round a table. If you were placing a bet as to one that was selfish or two that were selfish, and all about them, and the ones that start to come together, where's your money at? Who do you think would be more successful at that?
Those who work together and do something together.
Yeah, but why? Well, does that mean that they can cover more ground?
Yeah, and share resources.
And they can share the resources?
Yeah, someone has something different than the other one.
And then does that mean that some can prop them up?
Yeah.
whilst the other ones...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got to think back to the Stonehenge
Mm-hmm.
understanding.
Yeah.
There's a point for that story. Okay, whether true or not, okay. I believe it is, but again, it can be wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. It's a bit like Noah's Ark as well. But
Yeah.
you've got to look at it as the principle of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just change the characters, that one collecting the firewood, one's collecting the water, one's collecting... Do you see how your whole history has taught you with that one story
Mm-hmm.
that when you come together, you take the burden off of one another, so
Yeah.
it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
But one can be collecting this whilst the other one's collecting
Yeah.
this, whilst the other one's collecting this, but I'll build this and I'll support you, but you will bring me this and then you
Mm-hmm.
support me.
Yeah. And then everyone can live reasonably well.
Nature must teach you this, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. If the planet didn't have any nature,
Mm.
it would be a pretty boring place to live, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mars. I mean, pretty shitty.
Mm.
If you didn't have nice crystals shining around the place, I mean, beautiful. Beautiful. If you didn't have all of this
Mm.
and the flowers that open up, and everyone loves flowers, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you like a nice bunch of flowers? Why? Because they're colourful, because, you know, they all come together and wow, that's a beautiful arrangement. That is absolutely beautiful. And then nature's like, I'll cradle you, but you cradle me. I'll feed you, but, you know, and I'll give you the energy to get going and build this space stuff. Well, why is that? Come here, fingers. I don't know if you noticed, I'm kind of plugged into the ground here.
Mm.
I can't do much about my fate, but I know you can. So if I give you the energy, don't eat my seeds. But if I give you the energy from the flesh,
Mm.
I'm kind of hoping that you're going to take me with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. So two coming together again.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bit different when it comes to animals, but again, you know, because you kind of got to look at them as food, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But nature says, you know, I'll also look after your animals because I know you like that too, and then you can eat them as well. I will provide for these.
Mm-hmm.
And then, fingers, you know, you can plant me in the ground too. You seem to know how to look after me. I'll give you up my secrets to you. Well, okay then. I'll also do such a good job. I'll keep you really healthy. I think you live a lot longer than what you could do if you were just eating all this stuff. Oh, sounds like a fair deal to me. Fuck it, we'll cut them down. Right, yeah, fuck me, man. I guess the deal's off, right? So, you know, it's just sort of like, whoa. I'll also give you oxygen. I will also hold on to your carbon for you. And the ocean's like, hey, you, fingers. I'll sweat, you drink me, and you sweat, and I'll drink you.
Mm.
Sounds really crazy, doesn't it? But it's kind of true, right?
Yeah.
And the solar system selflessly is teaching you things. The light and dark, the balances, right? Okay. For nature, what does nature like? Well, it likes this darkness and it likes the light. Right, okay. So I need to make something with light and dark. Now you're learning. You never know, nature could just been like freaking tripping us out all this time, sort of like, ooh, I'm going to teach you some stuff. Then you eat a mushroom and it's like, I'll teach you something. I don't know, some people have said some really weird stuff about mushrooms. I've never tried it, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. It's a bit similar to DMT, right? In the mind when you... Yeah. Again, without this process, you wouldn't have imagination.
Yeah.
Just nature kind of shows you, I'll show you how to do it properly. Okay, no. Yeah, so it just sort of amplifies that sort of thing. So again, everything coming together, all of this coming together, working together. And again, if we were to look at animals and different things like that, you think, oh, they're so beautiful, right? Oh, they're so cute. It kind of has this impact in you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it does me. If I see a bird and I'm like, you're kind of following me around. And then they're doing their little thing, and then these little chicks, oh, they're so cute.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror, what the hell happened to you? I'm just kidding, but you know, but it's going to take everything coming together. And I don't think it's going to be one nation that achieves this on their own. More hands on deck. And then can this strengthen economies, not just your own, but everybody's? That's if you're going to need an economy in that sort of time. It's going to be back to trading, I think. Trade. And then food. It's going to need to support. This is going to need to support. AI sweats the small stuff. It leaves open quite a lot of goodness, I think. Hmm. Everybody has to get on the same page. And then, is there a line that can be drawn underneath the sand? If we all get round this table, can we let go of some of the things that have been seen and we won't hold it against anyone?
That would be a good idea.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think it happened in the past, so it could happen again.
Well, then, if history did do this once before, then history often repeats, so I'll send that out into the cosy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we let water be, as my grandfather would say, can you let bygones be bygones? Is it possible? And then we sort of know where we're heading. And sort of have more the merrier. Because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging, but I think it will be easy, actually. I think this is going to be easy. I think the hard part is getting going. Once you get going, you sort of say, oh, this is, once I've done one, and you're mining another, and you're looking at another, and you're starting to build this here. I think it just then begins to, a bit like the hunter-gatherers back in the day. If they can make it through an ice age and start to come out the other side of that after losing a lot of stuff during the ice age and just before the ice age, I think this is easy. I mean, just get going. You just got to get going. Proof's in the pudding. Proof is in the past. You can conquer this planet. You can conquer space. You can conquer water. You can conquer space. You can conquer the air. You can conquer space. There's no. Conquer another planet. It's easy. But yeah, I think the UK needs to sort of. What do we really want to do? Go into another battle, or do we want to find some peace? I mean, because both are options, but again, which one do both sides really want to do? Is this it?
Peace is better.
A peace. We're going to have to find a deal that works for all.
Yeah.
If it's possible. Because that one day may come back to support you. If you think about it. Ooh, I nearly dropped my crystal ball. But it can, though, can't it? This can be, prosperity, a moment of prosperity for all. Yeah. I'm going to leave this here because I think I've waddled enough for this evening. Very good.